Intellectual property protection is a way for you to protect the work your business creates. This means things like logos, inventions, software, and creative works. First, we'll look at what intellectual property is and how it works. Then we'll go into more detail about the specific types of intellectual property and how these can help your business. Finally, we'll look at how you can enforce and protect your intellectual property rights. Understand intellectual property protection and you'll be able to protect your rights and the value of your business, and avoid infringing other people's protected ideas. Okay, so let's look at what intellectual property is. Intellectual property is any kind of original creation that can be bought or sold. This can be a new piece of software, an artistic work, a design, even a business name. Most businesses, including yours, will probably have some type of intellectual property that they want to protect. And to do this, there are 4 main types of intellectual property protection. And each one protects a different type of intellectual property. Patents are used to protect inventions of physical things like products, machines, or components. Patents usually cover unique methods, processes, or features that have been developed to make things work better. For example, a new cog for a machine, a method for creating something, or even a secret recipe. You've also got design rights, which are similar to patents, but protect the way your product looks. You can use design rights to protect a face mask you've created, the shape of a container, or even the shape of your burgers. Then there are trademarks, and they protect your most powerful and valuable marketing tool, your brand. You can use a trademark to protect signs, logos, anything that can distinguish your business. You can even trademark your business's name. And finally, there's copyright. This is an automatic protection that is used for all sorts of recorded material. And it covers things like written work, drawings, photography, music, and computer software. If you're going to talk to people about your ideas before you have them protected with one of the types of intellectual property we've talked about, you should always get them to sign a non-disclosure agreement. This prevents them from talking to other people about your intellectual property and giving away your ideas. And if they do, you can sue them for breach of contract. Click here to see how a business protected its intellectual property. That's a quick look at intellectual property and the types of protection available to you. Now we'll look at how you can get these types of protection. Copyright is easy, because it's automatic and international. But you should always show your works are copyrighted. You can do this by using the international copyright symbol, your name, and the year you made the work. Design rights are free, automatic protection rights, and they come into force when your intellectual property is created. But your design is only protected if it is 3-dimensional, original, and unique. To prove you're the owner of the design right, you could leave a dated copy or sample with a bank or solicitor. You can register your design with the Intellectual Property Office as a design registration. To do this, you need to send illustrations, drawings or photos of the design and pay a fee. This takes up to 3 months to do, but gives you better protection than a design right. Unregistered designs are much harder to protect. Even so, it'll only protect your design in the UK. You need a community design to protect yourself in the EU. Trademarks are different and always need to be registered with the Intellectual Property Office. You need to return a form and pay the correct fee, which you can do online or by post. There are also certain rules for trademarks. They must be distinctive, unique, recognizable, and they can't describe your goods or services. You can use a trademark checking service to make sure your ideas haven't been used already. The Intellectual Property Office will then check this, and it can take up to 2 months to confirm your trademark. Once it's done, it'll only protect you in the UK, and you'll have to get a community trademark to protect yourself in the EU. Finally, there are patents, which can be much more complicated. Click here to find out how to get patent protection for your intellectual property. Now you've seen how to get protection for your intellectual property. Next, we'll look at how to enforce your intellectual property rights. Enforcing your intellectual property rights is always your own responsibility, so you need to know what to do. If you've got copyrighted work, you can allow others to use it and even charge for its use. And if someone uses your work without permission, you could be entitled to damages. But if this happens, always seek legal advice before taking action. And always check that it's still protected before you accuse someone, because the length of protection depends on your work. Design rights last a varying amount of time. You can then sell this right to someone or prevent them from copying you for the first 5 years. But protecting your design rights depends on whether or not it's registered. If it is, you should inform the offender in writing. If they do nothing, you can start court proceedings against them. Unregistered design rights are the same, but it's harder to prove they're yours. In either case, always speak to a legal advisor, because this is a complex area. Trademarks can be more straightforward, but you should still seek legal advice. Registered trademarks last 10 years, but are easily renewable. They prevent anyone from using your intellectual property without your permission. And if they do use it, you can sue them for damages and stop them using it again. If your trademark isn't registered, you can still take action, but it's more difficult to prove. Defending a patent is similar to a trademark. First, you need to send a letter warning the offender, and then take legal action if it continues. Always consult a legal advisor for patents, because taking action can be very complicated. Click here to see an example of how intellectual property protection might work. And that's how you can protect your various types of intellectual property. So now you should know a little bit about intellectual property, what you might have in your business that's worth protecting, and how you can protect it.